Number 8, I see 4w squared. So I'm going to be dealing with a trinomial here. So I need to go ahead and get everything over to the left and get it set equal to 0. That's the first step always here. So I need to move him over. How am I going to move him over? I'm going to add 19w. So I'll add 19w here. I need to move that 3 over. So I'm going to subtract 3. So I'm going to subtract 3. That's going to give me 0 over on the right-hand side of the equal. On the left, we're going to have the 4w squared. We have a 19w. There's no other w's here. And the -2 and -3 together are -5. We now have it set equal to 0. So we have to now factor the trinomial into the product of two binomials. Well, to do that, we're going to have to use the busting B method I taught you, where we bust this 19w down into two pieces. Maybe it's an 18w and a 1w. Maybe it's going to be 15w and 4w. I don't know. We're going to find out. So let's multiply the a value, 4, times the c value, -5. That gives us -20. So one of the pieces is negative, one is positive. So 1 and 20. Can those produce? That does produce the 19. Now we want a positive 19, so that means I'm going to have a positive on the 20 and a negative on the 1, because those put together will give you positive 19, and multiplied they'll give you the -20. Now, I have told you, if you have this, always put the negative piece first. So I'm going to put the -1w here plus the 20w here. Now just bring down my 4w squared, my -5. It just saves you a lot of trouble if you do that. Because if you have a minus here in the center, you're going to have to change it to plus and negative. We've gone over that. It's just not as clean. And it lends itself to mistakes. Now, why did I just group those up? Because we're going to factor by grouping. That's why we broke it into 4 pieces. This is how we do the busting B method. We now say, hey, what can factor out of this front group? Well, all I see is a W. That's all I see. And what's left behind? A 4W minus 1. Plus what factors out here? I see a 5, and what's left behind? 5 times 4 is 20. There's the W, 5 times a 1. And notice what we have. They both have a 4W minus 1. So we bring that out front, and we're left behind with this piece plus that piece. W plus 5 equals 0. We have now factored it. So now we have two things multiplied together that equal 0. That means one of those pieces, either this guy has to equal 0 or this guy has to equal 0. So now I add 1, just solving it for W. 4W has to equal 1. That's a beautiful 4. Divide by 4, divide by 4. So W is a fourth. 0.25 is a decimal if we like. Subtract 5. W is -5. Those are our two solutions, 1/4 and -5. What does that mean? It means if I graph this parabola, the one that is crossing at -5 and the other's crossing right here at a fourth. Parabola swinging down and swinging back up. I think it was swinging down. Yes, it was. It's a positive in front of the W squared, so it's an upwards facing parabola. But all I'm looking for, solution there and the solution there. So in the blank, write 1/4 and -5.